I happened to glance down at the ocean as we passed a scenic curve, and I saw something that made me jump out of my seat. Look! But we turned a corner and the ocean disappeared behind the hills. What? Tally asked. A big white ship, I said, docked near the beach. It looked like a cruise ship. Her eyes widened. Luke's ship? I wanted to say I wasn't sure. It might be a coincidence, but I knew better. The Princess Andromeda, Luke's demon cruise ship, was docked at that beach. That's why he'd send his ship all the way down the Panama Canal. It was the only way to sail it from the East Coast to California. We will have company then, Zoe said grimly. Kronos' army. I was about to answer when suddenly the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. Dahlia shouted, Stop the car! Now! Zoe must have sensed something was wrong, because she slammed on the brakes without question. The yellow VW spun twice before coming to a stop at the edge of the cliff. Ow! Dahlia opened the door and pushed me hard. We both rolled onto the pavement. The next second, boom! Lightning flashed, and Dr. Chase's Volkswagen erupted like a canary yellow grenade. I probably would have been killed by shrapnel except for Thalia's shield, which appeared over me. I heard the sound like metal rain, and I opened my eyes and we were surrounded by wreckage. Part of the VW's fender had impaled itself in the street. The smoking hood was spinning in circles. Pieces of yellow metal were strewn all across the road. I swallowed the taste of smoke out of my mouth, and I looked at Thalia. You saved my life. One shall perish by a parent's hand, she muttered. Curse him! He wouldn't destroy me. Me? It took a second to realize what she was talking about her dad. Oh, hey, that couldn't have been Zeus's lightning bolt. No way. Whose then? Thalia demanded. I don't know. Zoe said Kronos' name. Maybe he... Thalia shook her head, looking angry and stunned. No, that wasn't it. Wait, I said. Where's Zoe? Zoe? We both got up and ran around the blasted VW. Nothing inside. Nothing in either direction down the road. I looked down the cliff. No sign of her. Zoe! I shouted. Then she was standing right next to me, pulling me by my arm. Silence, fool! Do you want to wake Ladon? You mean we're here? Very close, she said. Follow me. Sheets of fog were drifting right across the road. Zoe stepped into one of them, and when the fog passed, she was no longer there. Thalia and I looked at each other. Concentrate on Zoe, Thalia advised. We are following her. Go straight into the fog and keep that in mind. Wait, Thalia, what about what happened back on the pier? I mean, with the Manticore and the sacrifice. I don't want to talk about it. You wouldn't actually have...
Congratulations, you won.
She took a deep breath. Percy, I know you're trying to make me feel better, thanks, but come on, we need to go. She stepped into the fog, into the mist, and I followed. When the fog cleared, I was still on the side of the mountain, but the road was dirt, the grass was thicker. The sunset was a blood-red slash across the sky. The summit of the mountain seemed closer now, swirling with the storm clouds in raw power. There was only one path to the top, directly in front of us, and it led through a lush meadow of shadows and flowers, the Garden of Twilight, just like I'd seen in my dream. If it hadn't been for the enormous dragon, the garden would have been the most beautiful place I'd ever seen. The grass shimmered with silvery evening light, and the flowers were such brilliant colors they almost glowed in the dark. Stepping stones of polished black marble led around either side of the 5-story tall apple tree, every bough glittering with golden apples. And I don't mean yellow golden apples like in the grocery store. I mean real golden apples. I can't describe why they were so appealing, but as soon as I smelled their fragrance, I knew that one bite would be the most delicious thing I ever tasted. The apples of immortality, Thalia said. Hera's wedding gift from Zeus. I wanted to step right up and pluck one, except for the dragon coiled around the tree. Now, I don't know what you're thinking when I say dragon. Whatever it is, it's not scary enough. The serpent's body was as thick as a booster rocket, glinting with coppery scales. He had more heads than I can count, as if 100 deadly pythons had fused together. He appeared to be asleep. The heads lay curled in like a big spaghetti-like mound on the grass. All the eyes were closed. Then the shadows in front of us began to move. There was a beautiful, eerie singing, like the voices from the bottom of a well. I reached for Riptide, but Zoe stopped my hand. 4 figures shimmered into existence. 4 young women who looked very much like Zoe.